So I am so excited to bring on our co-founder back on the line with us, Mr. Blake Mallen. Back over to you, buddy. I'm so excited. Boy, let's just go.
So guys, I'm going to shift gears here, and we get to go into kind of a fun topic, and I'm excited about this. So I'm going to ask for full engagement. Matter of fact, I want to know who's actually paying attention right now. So if you're with me live right now, just give me a hi, Blake, in the comments, in the chat box, or on Facebook. Just give me a hi, Blake. I know people are on and off throughout the day. It's a long section. I also know that in the midst of a simulcast, you might have other things going on around you, distracting. So I just want to know who's actually here to listen, learn, and grow with us right now. I love it. Seeing all the highs. I like it. I like it. I like it. So guys, 19 years for me in the industry. 19 years on all different sides, right? Kind of like a third, I guess. Maybe a third of that time in the field as a distributor, as a promoter, building an organization. Maybe a third of that time, in kind of startup phase, right? Down in trenches, maybe a third of that time growing, scaling large companies. And I'll tell you, having had success in kind of a 360-degree view from the distributor side, from the startup mode, from managing companies, I'll tell you guys, I think no matter what phase you're in, whether you're a brand new promoter or you're someone that's been in the industry a long time, I think success in this style of marketing comes down to philosophy. I'm going to give you guys an equation I learned a long time ago, and I apply it to virtually everything. And that's BAR. And I'm not talking about bar like weekend night. I'm talking about your beliefs determine your actions determine your results. You guys are spending time here on a Saturday afternoon, I'm willing to bet, because you want different results. How many of you guys are here because you want different results? You want more income, more freedom, more time, more lifestyle, right? More ability, more options. We all want different results. Matter of fact, most of the world, if you ask that question, they want different results. Everybody says they want different results. Few people will actually take different actions to get different results. You got to take a different action to get a different result. Definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. Got to change your action to change your result. That's more obvious than maybe the last piece, which is the actions we take actually start from the beliefs we have. See, most people want different results. Some people will change their action, but if they don't go back and change their beliefs, all the actions they change are always short-lived, short-term. If you want to have long-term shift in your life, you got to change your actions in the long term, which means you got to go to the root. You can call it beliefs. I call it philosophy, personal philosophies that you choose to adopt. So you guys, what I'm going to do with my time here today, and I'll share with you guys some of the slides here. And can I get a confirmation? Someone give me a verbal that's on the moderator. You guys can see one slide.
Yes,
confirm yes.
You're good, Blake. You're good.
You're good. So you guys, I'm going to talk about 5 truths for live promoters, okay? 5 truths for all live promoters. You guys ready? Here we go, okay? So truth number 1 for all live promoters. Things you can control is greater than things you can't control. Or at least you should be if you want to have success here. What you can control has to be greater than what you can't control. A greater amount of focus, a greater amount of your energy, a greater amount of your emotion, a greater amount of your time, a greater amount of your life needs to go into things you can control instead of things you can't control. I look at everything in this world as one of 2 buckets. That's it. It's literally black and white. It's that linear. There are things you can control, and there are things you can't control. The problem with most people is they spend so much of their life, their energy, their time, their mental capacity focused on things they can't control. Look at the world that we're here today. Look at how much stress, anxiety, depression. How many of us know people fighting all of this like on a constant basis? I'm willing to bet if you really look in the mirror of all these individuals that are stressed out, overwhelmed, maxed out, depressed, it's because they are spending too much of, I call it life, focusing on the bucket they can't control. Definitely a timely week for this one as we're going into like an election and voting and all this stuff, and everybody's all in an uproar over stuff they can't control. My wife sometimes gets irritated with me. She goes, how come this doesn't bug you? How come this doesn't irritate? I go, that's out of my control. Guys, I've learned over time to put little energy, very little energy into the bucket of stuff I can't control. And I try to put all of my energy, all of my life into the bucket of things that I can control. I love this meme. Some of you guys maybe have seen this out there on Facebook land or Instagram land. It's a pretty popular meme, but it illustrates the point. Do you have a problem? If yes, can you do something about it? If yes, then don't worry. Do you have a problem? If yes, can you do something about it? No, then don't worry. Do you have a problem? No, then don't worry. What this is illustrating, guys, is, hey, there's only two buckets, things you can control and things you can't control. If you can't control it, it doesn't make sense to worry about it because you can't control it. And if you can control it, you shouldn't worry about it because you can control it. So when it comes to this business, let's talk about things we can't control and things we can control. Here's what you can't control. You can't control if someone's going to say yes or no. We have a list of people that we want to go out there and become members. We are on a mission to go out there and put millions of people into this platform. And you know what? You can't control if they're going to say yes or no. You can't control if it's the right time in their life. You can't control if, you know, what's going on in their home, what's going on in their work, what's going on in their mind, what's going on in their world. You can't control. You can't control if it's the right time for them. You can't control, right, if this is the right opportunity at the right time for the person that you're talking to. You have no control over that. So if you have no control over that, why do we care if someone's going to tell us no? Why do we care about what someone may think? Why do we care about the possibility of someone rejects us if all that stuff, guys, is out of our control? What you do have control over is giving an invitation, sharing the gift, giving somebody the option. You have control over opening a door. You don't have control over if they walk through the door, but you have control over opening the door. So you guys got to stop worrying about what the outcome's going to be. If it's yes, if it's no, if it's the right time, if they're the one, if they can do it, if they're not. You have no control. The only thing you can control is sharing the gift, giving the invitation, opening the door, and giving somebody an option. So if it is the right time for them, now they have an ability to walk through. Guys, you got to focus, right? Not on closing. A lot of times we want to try to close somebody to a member or close someone to a promoter. You guys, all we're trying to seek here is closure. Closure and closing are different things. Closure is yes, no, it's indifferent, okay? We're just trying to run a process, focus on what we can control. Let's go on to truth number 2. So we got things we can control and things we can't control. We're going to put our energy into which one? You guys tell me. Where are we going to put our mental energy into things we what? Can control. In this business, we can control the number of people we open a door for. It's up to them if they walk through it. Here's a second truth for all live promoters. Numbers are greater than skill, especially when you're first getting started. Numbers are greater than skill. I'm going to teach you guys an acronym. The acronym for those of you guys taking notes is SINLOA, S-I-N-L-O-A. It stands for Safety in Numbers, Law of Averages. Safety in Numbers, Law of Averages. Safety in numbers. It's a numbers game in this business. Law of Averages says that if we do something often, a ratio will appear. And this is true for everything. Jim Rohn was the best at messaging this. He's one of my favorites out there. For those of you guys that want some homework, if you go YouTube, it's on YouTube, free for everybody. Jim Rohn, R-O-H-N, How to Build a Network Marketing Business. One of the best audios, I think, ever in this industry. YouTube, Jim Rohn, if you guys are taking notes. But I'll paraphrase it. He says, if you do something often, a ratio appears. So if you talk to enough people about Live, we share enough tools, we have enough conversations, we send enough messages, we're going to get a ratio, right? You talk to 10 people, you get 1. You now have a ratio, 1 out of 10. That's your ratio. That's your average. What we have to learn is we have to learn to make up in numbers what we lack in skill. I'll give you guys an example of this. Let's say, you know, you've been at this a long time, right? You're really, really, really good. You can talk to 10 people and you can get 9 out of 10. I don't know if that's possible in anybody's realm, but let's go for the sake of the story. You talk to 10 people about Live, 9 people become members, you're a 9 out of 10. Let's say I'm brand new in this business, I just getting started, I talk to 10, I get 1. If we have a contest over 30 days, I can beat you. And some of you guys may be sitting there and saying, well, how can you beat me? You talk to 10, you get 9. I talk to 10, I get 1. Well, simple. Over 30 days, if you talk to 10 and get 9, and I talk to 100 and get 10, I beat you. See, guys, the take home in that message is we got to learn to make up in numbers what we lack in skill. You talk to 10, you get 1. You talk to 10, you get 1. You talk to 10, you get 1. But what ends up happening is eventually you talk to 10 and now you get 2. What's happening? You're getting better. The more you do something, the more numbers you run, the skill comes over time. But you can't wait for the skill to drive the numbers. It doesn't work that way. Numbers are greater than skill. You got to run the numbers. What I love about law of averages, and you guys got to think about this, right? In baseball, they call it a batting average, right? You know, for those of you guys that follow baseball, obviously just had the World Series out there, Dodgers. You know, for those of you guys that follow in baseball, if you get 3 out of 10, you're like an all-star. You're making millions of dollars a year if you get 3 out of 10. Think about that law of averages. That means you fail 7 out of 10 times. Fail 7 out of 10 times, you make the all-stars, you make millions of dollars a year. Fail 7 out of 10. Guys, this business is no different. You can compete if you get 1 out of 10, 1 out of 10. Just do more numbers than the person next to you. Over time, you might get 2. Over time, you might get up to 3. Some of you guys might be rock stars and get up to 4 and 5, right? But let's say you go out there and you only get to 1, 2, 3. It's about running the numbers. You run the numbers, you can't lose. Here's what I love about law of averages. Listen to me carefully here. It's impossible not to get the result you're looking for if you understand that numbers are greater than skill and you're willing to run the numbers. It's impossible. If you talk to 10 and get 1, and you talk to 10 and get 1, and you know your average is 1 out of 10, and your goal this month in November is to live free. Live free, you need 3 VIP customers. Well, you guys tell me, if your average or ratio is 1 out of 10, and this month your goal is 3 VIP customers, how many people do you have to talk to? Easy math, you talk to 30. I guarantee you go talk to 30 people through the system we learned, all of you are gonna get 3 new VIP customers, and you're all gonna be living free this month. It's just math. It's just math. Well, Blake, if I got to talk to 30, right, to get 3, let's go with the same ratio. Let's say 3 promoters, 1 out of 10, 1 out of 10, 1 out of 10. I got to get to Rising Star. I got to talk to 30 to get my 3 to get to Rising Star. Well, I know exactly what I have to do. I got to talk to 30 to get my 3 to get to Rising Star. It's math. Well, I got to get to Bronze Elite. Well, that means I have to have 3 Rising Stars. So let me have 3 people to get 1 out of 10. Let me get 3 people to talk to 30 to get their 3. I'm a Bronze Elite. Guys, what I love about this principle is this comes down to just numbers. Numbers. If you're willing to run the numbers and do the activity, you get the result. It's impossible to run the numbers and not get the result. If at the end of the month you're not live free, it's not because you didn't have the skill. It's not because you didn't have the message. It's not because you didn't have the tune. It's because you didn't run the numbers. You didn't understand this principle that numbers are greater than skill. Starts with you. Develop your ratio. Get better. Help your team develop the ratio. Get better. Make up in numbers what you lack in skill. If you guys are tracking with me out there, give me an all capital yes in the comments in the chat box if you're tracking with me and if you're willing to make up in numbers, right, what you lack in skill. Let's go to number 3. Number 3, truth of Live. Consistency is greater than talent. Ooh. We mess this one up a lot. We get people of talent, charisma, experience, come into this business and boom, they come out of the gates. They're like running to Rising Star, running to Bronze Elite, right? Running to Silver. They're running, you know, it's amazing. Wow. And then all of a sudden, 60 days in or 90 days in, they're stalled out or going backwards. Guys, because this business isn't about talent. Matter of fact, no business is really about talent. It's about consistency over time. We're in a momentum business. What is momentum? Momentum is an energy. How do you create momentum as an energy? Consistency. Consistency in message, consistency in activity, consistency in result. It takes consistency over time to build a momentum in this business. You won't make it if you're hot and cold, if you're on and off, if you're here today, gone tomorrow, if you're all in last week, taking a break next week. It doesn't work. Guys, in this business, you got to find the pace you're able and willing to run at consistently for a long period of time. And again, it's impossible to fail. It's impossible not to get a result if you're able and willing to run a consistent pace over a long period of time. You do the right actions long enough, you always get the result. Most people will never develop that belief or understanding because they won't do the right actions long enough to realize that it always gets the result. I love this quote. My name is consistency. I am related to success. We should hang out more than every once in a while, right? It's about consistency, okay? Consistency over talent. Let's keep going. Number four, progress is greater than perfection. This one's a tough one, and this one is a reason why a lot of you guys aren't moving the pace you want to move. And it's not your fault. Let's call it the world's fault. We've ingrained in all of us this need or this addiction to perfection. We got to be perfect. We got to do it right. We don't want to look stupid. We don't want to be judged. We don't want to make a mistake. Heaven forbid, we don't want to fail. It's been ingrained in all of us. And a lot of people have this problem where it's like, man, they feel the need to be perfect. Why? And that need to be perfect is a rationale in your head that's keeping you from taking the action that you need to take to get the life you want. Blake, I don't know the full message. I'm not going to talk to anybody until I know the full message. Wrong. I don't know what to say, right? I got to have this right. I don't know what to say. So you're not taking the action. Wrong. I don't know how to do a meetup, right? So-and-so can do a meetup so much better than I can do a meetup. Justification. You're letting your need to be perfect get in the way of making progress to the life that you're saying you want. Guys, progress over perfection. Any forward movement is better than no movement. Movement in any direction is better than no direction, okay? You got to be making progress, okay? And the only way you make progress is action, effort. Take the swings, take the at-bats. You got to try. And the good news is, guys, progress, right? Progress is going to lead to growth. Progress is going to lead to skills. Progress is going to lead to, learning. Progress is going to lead to growth, right? You guys value progress. When in doubt, start. Go. Now. Remove the need to be perfect. Guys, nobody cares, right? They don't care if you mess up. They don't expect you to be perfect. We got to ditch all of that, okay? If you're with me, give me an amen. If you're willing to go out there and adopt progress over perfection, give me an amen in the comments in the chat box out there. Okay, number five. Let's go to number 5. EQ over IQ. EQ over IQ. What I mean by that is emotional intelligence over academic intelligence. It's a different philosophy. See, we're taught growing up, and most of the world out there obsesses over normal intelligence, academic intelligence, how smart somebody is, what they know. You guys, all that stuff might be good for getting grades in college, but all that stuff is pretty irrelevant when it comes to success in life. I'll take somebody that values emotional intelligence over someone that's smart without emotional intelligence any day of the week. What do I mean by emotional intelligence? It means they don't allow their emotions to cause them to take an action, right, that is going to get in the way of where they want to go. That's what I mean by emotional intelligence. You don't allow your emotions to hijack your actions and have you go out there and say something or do something you're going to regret later, feel guilty later, is going to hinder your forward progress. A couple things when it comes to just emotional intelligence. I love this quote by Eleanor Roosevelt. She says, "Great minds discuss ideas. Average minds discuss events. Small minds discuss people." Ouch. How many people are we surrounded with every day that it's like gossip, and all they talk about is other people? gossiping about them. He did this, she did this. I can't believe that. Drama, 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 gossip, gossip, gossip. Small minds, small minds, small minds. You guys, emotionally intelligent people don't talk about other people. We're too busy focused on a bigger picture, a higher calling, a higher impact, ideas, innovation, right? Solutions. Stay out of the drama. Stay out of the drama. When I talk about emotional intelligence, I also mean just don't ride the emotional roller coaster. Here's what this means. Emotional intelligence means you don't get too high on your highs or low on your lows. You don't get too high on your highs or low on your lows, right? How many of you guys know people that in their life, they're like bouncing up and down? It's like they got bruises on their forehead and their feet from just bouncing up and down. They're up today, down tomorrow, up today, down tomorrow. That is draining. And it's not only draining for you, it's draining for anybody following you. You can't follow somebody that's on an emotional roller coaster. It wears you out, okay? And for you guys, you got to learn to mellow out. You got to learn to level out. Don't get too high on your highs. Don't get too low on your lows. Can you celebrate? Yes. Is it okay to be down? Yes. But for short periods of time. Here's a good personal rule on this one. It's called the 24-hour rule. Means you can only be high or low for a 24-hour period. You can have the biggest victory in your life and you can celebrate 24 hours. You can have the world just collapsed on top of you and you can be down for 24 hours. Start with a 24-hour rule when it comes to your emotion and work to shrink that, right? 24 hours down to 10 hours, down to 5 hours, down to 1 hour, down to 5 minutes of a negative energy or high energy, and you're shifting out of your state. Your goal, guys, in your path to emotional intelligence is to shrink the amount of time it takes you to get back to that normal state when you're in control of your emotions. Start with the 24-hour rule. In this business, it also means everybody's always watching your movie. See, guys, you can do everything I talked about. Run the numbers, be consistent, make forward progress, and it'll work. It'll build a team, build a team, build a team, build a team, build a team. Consistency. You can spend months or years or a life building something up, and you can lose that in one moment when you lack emotional intelligence. You mess up once, that gets burned in people's minds. So you guys, your movie's always playing. This is a business about leadership. If you want people to follow you, you got to learn to level out, right? When it comes to the emotional intelligence that you apply to this business and life. The last thing I'll say when it comes to emotional intelligence, here's like an easy filter. Be a builder, not a destroyer. Here's what I mean by that. In any scenario, you can build something up or you can tear something down. You can build someone up or you can tear someone down. You can say something that builds somebody up or something that tears something down. You'll see this now in life. There's builders and there's destroyers. There's people that make livings out of building new up, and there's people that make livings out of tearing things down. Guys, emotional intelligence is about building up, building people up, building ideas up, right? In this case, building, a mission and a movement up. It's about being a builder, being a builder. I'll give you a bonus. I said 5, but I lied. I'll give you a bonus. So one more, because it still looks like we have 5 more minutes on my time clock here. So one more, guys. Bonus. Now is greater than later, okay? Now is greater than later. We've developed a culture of tomorrow. I'll do it later. I'll do it someday. I'll put it off. We're like a culture of procrastinating. Now is greater than later. You guys, especially when it comes to live right now. We're in a really unique phase, right? Where you have the ability where now all the pieces of the puzzle are like aligning. You got a member value proposition that's undeniable, value to every member, a consumer offer that's, now we're starting to bring in customers, right? You got the fact that you're early enough that you still have access to top leadership, right, of the company. You're ahead of the exact trend, right? People say, well, I want to come in when it's perfect. Guys, when it's perfect, there's going to be 1 million people in Live. When there's 1 million people here, it'll be perfect. And then even then, it probably won't be perfect. But you know what? The 1 million people are all going to come from the people that are ready to act now and not put off until later, right? A lot of people out there, they're waiting for someone to be the catalyst. They're waiting for it to be perfect. They're waiting for someone else to jump in the water first. Guys, you don't get it. The people that act now are the ones that are going to override the movement that we're creating. This is the most valuable time. When in doubt, now is better than later. Well, I should call that person. Do it now. Well, I should have a meetup. Do it now. Well, I should pledge for Cancun. Do it now. Well, I should go out there and live free. Do it now. Well, I should go out there and level up. Do it now. Guys, whenever you have the I know what I should do, you got to develop the muscle in your mind. I should do this. Do it now. I know I need to do this. Do it now. Guys, the best entrepreneurs have the ability to use the vision of what's ahead to create urgency in their life today. I'm going to say that again. They have the ability to use the vision of what's ahead to create urgency for today. Here's what's ahead. You guys, Liv's going to redefine the experience category. We're a first. We're a blue ocean. We're doing things that have never been done. We're going to create a movement that revolutionizes lifestyle. We're going to reconnect people in a desperate time where people need connection. We're going to create shared experiences that create moments and memories that people are going to take all the way to the rest of their life. We're going to go out there and create a movement, guys, a movement, an experiential movement that will touch millions of people. That's what's going to happen, and that's going to happen over the next 2, 3, 4 years. And you're at the seat right now where you get to be a key part or catalyst to help lead that movement, override it, change your lifestyle, which will happen for all of you. You move and you follow the principles, right? You focus on what you can control. You focus on running the numbers. You focus on doing it consistently. You focus on progressing every day, and you don't screw it up because you keep your emotions in check. You guys will be the leaders that override all of this. And 12 months from today, go back to that list that Jen was mentioning earlier. Do you guys realize that in 6 months, 12 months, 24 months, like, you're going to be going into the next year and you're going to be mapping out, well, I think I'm going to go to Bali in January, and maybe I'll hit Santorini in Feb, and maybe I'll bounce over to Machu Picchu. Maybe I'll check out the Great Wall. Do you realize, like, that's going to be your life in a couple of years if you want it to be? And you know what's going to be even more rewarding than living the life at the level you want to live? It's going to be the fact that the way you live your life is going to be inspiring other people what's possible for them. And watching what you're doing for others and the life they're able to live, that's going to be even more fulfilling than you being able to live the life you want. And that's the seat you're sitting in. So guys, have the vision of what's going to happen. And if you believe even a small fraction of the conversation I'm giving you, then you should be taking massive action right now at the point we are right now, because this is where that movement's going to create and where the money is going to be made. So there's your 5 truths, guys, of a Live promoter. Can control greater than can't control. Numbers greater than skill. Consistency greater than talent. Progress greater than perfection. Emotional intelligence greater than normal intelligence. And a bonus, do it now, do it now, do it now, do it now. You guys do me a favor right now. Give me one thing you got. One thing you got out of that. One thing you got that you'll take. Go ahead and throw it in the chat box. Throw it in the comments. One thing you got out of the 5 truths of a Live promoter that you're willing to apply now. Do it now, do it now, do it now. And I promise you guys, if you adopt those philosophies, those beliefs will change your actions, they'll change your results, and they will not fail. It all starts with shifting that philosophy.